The United States needs to look after itself. And this is something that I think both the left and the right have kind of come to an agreement on, that, or members of the right, certainly parts of MAGA, that it's time to really focus on at home instead of all these adventures abroad.
Right, except
Except
I'm
Iran.
shocked. No, I'm a little shocked that you're for Greenland.
Yeah, I mean, no, this really, the U.S. dollar is about to collapse, and so we've got to prop this thing up. So, the time for sort of the bleeding heart liberal, let's leave Greenland to the Danes, that's got to be over. We got to be realistic about this, and Greenland is very, very useful in terms of the rare earth materials. Most of them are in China, and we can't rely on the Chinese to provide them for us going forward. So we need to get them ourselves.
Speaking of Scandinavians,
Yeah.
the city of Minneapolis, formerly populated by Scandinavians, appears to be having some problems with ICE. Donald Trump has been sending in more ICE officers, another several hundred, going up to a couple of thousand, ever since last week when an ICE officer killed a woman who was taunting him. So I think this is an issue that is clearly tearing the country apart, although I would say that the Democrats are using this as fodder. They're using it the way they used, what's his name? The black guy who also got killed in...
George Floyd?
Yeah, George Floyd. The way they use that, they're trying to make this into a national referendum on whether there should be any immigration control.
Yeah, and remember when we were talking about how ICE could be used effectively to go after gangs and to really protect these immigrant communities, which were exploited by the gangs? That would have been the smart way to go. And in order to do that, you need to work with local police departments because they have the intelligence, and the ICE sort of serves as the backup.
All the people that ICE took out of Minneapolis last week were rapists, murderers, the absolute worst of the worst.
Well, just getting back to this shooting, the heavy-handed way in which it's not just rapists and murderers, but it's also people getting just sort of swept up in these situations. And in this case, an American who was protesting, was really just a nuisance crime, parking in the middle of the street like that. This was something which a well-trained cop would have handled. Conflict de-escalation tactics. Instead, it just got escalated to the point where, the guy gets run over. Now, was she trying to run him over? No, she was not trying to run him over.
How do you know that?
Because the wheel was turned away from him when she made the...
When she hit him.
When she hit him, but it was accidentally. Number one. Number two,
you know what?
The guy was
I
crossing way too close to the car. You never walk in front of a running automobile, not right up against the bumper. You never do that. You always give space. Accidents happen, especially in a tense situation. She's a woman behind the wheel who's in this kind of tense thing. She's got cops all around her.
She's got her lesbian marital partner urging her to hit the brakes, drive, baby, drive. You know what I think this boils down to? I think it's a tragedy that she got shot, because all it does is make politics worse in this country.
Well, it's also because she's dead, and that's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. But I kind of think this boils down to F around and find out. She was pushing it just a little too hard, and this awful thing happened. And it happened, let's assume, by accident. But
it was by accident.
But it's entirely her fault for effing around like this.
Well,
this is not what you're supposed to be doing if you have 3 little kids.
Yeah, this is not what you're supposed to be doing. I agree with that. As soon as the cops came up, she made her point. She made her statement, blocking the traffic. You then move on. She didn't, right? And obviously, her wife regrets that. in the whole situation, as does the officer, no doubt, right?
I'm sure the officer regrets it. His life is over.
Without doubt, right?